Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another season of college football picks on Quincy Bell Sports. This is something I'm very excited about, and it's time for another season. I don't even know what season number this is. God, when did I start making videos? 2018. I think. What is this? Season 6 or so? My goodness. It's a lot of seasons of picking college football games. You know the drill. You've been around here for a while. Let's make some picks. We start with some Thursday night games. The first one is North Carolina and Minnesota. Now, this is interesting because this is a home and home, actually. Minnesota played at North Carolina last year. This time, North Carolina is going to come up north. I don't know. I think it's going to be a really ruckus Minnesota home crowd. North Carolina doesn't have Drake May anymore. I don't really know who their QB is. What does the matchup analysis say? Yeah, 1.5 on the spread. This is basically a 50-50. I'm inclined to go with the home team, though. I think I'm going to take Minnesota. North Dakota State and Colorado. This is interesting. So Colorado's favored by 10. And I'm saying, here's the thing. Colorado won 4 games last year? Yeah, they made some changes, but they're not a good team still. Like, they're just not. North Dakota State, they're a gritty, tough team every year out of the Mountain West, and they're going to want this game. They're going to want this game heavily. I don't trust Colorado. I'm going to take North Dakota State. I'm being completely dead serious here. I think they win. I think they're going to win this game because that is a tough team right there. The Bison are always one of the top teams in FCS. Watch out. I think they're going to win. Utah, Southern Utah. I'm going to take Utah. Utah's one of the teams in the Big 12 that's going to be competing for that automatic bid. I think it's going to be between them and Kansas State, if you guys saw my other video. But I'm going to give this one to the Utes. Michigan State and FAU. I think Tom Herman is still coaching at FAU. I'm going to take Michigan State, though. The problem with week 1 of making picks is there's a lot of teams that are just playing cupcake games like Oklahoma Temple. I think Oklahoma's going to win that one. I don't know. We'll see what Brent Venables has cooking up this year. I think they might be able to make some. I don't think they will, but they can potentially make some noise in the SEC. You never know. They're ranked 16 to start the year. I think Duke beats Elon. I think Wisconsin beats Western Michigan. I'm not too sold on Wisconsin. I feel like every year people say they're going to be really, really good. But like, when was the last time they were really like a top 20, top 15 team? I don't know. I'm not a big believer in Wisconsin this year. Stanford TCU. What is it? Okay, so it says TCU's 9.5 point favorites. Stanford was not very good last year. Neither was TCU, but I feel like TCU's due for a bounce back year. I'm going to go with the favorite and take TCU. I think that's a fair pick. Now we get to the Saturday games. Georgia and Clemson in Atlanta. What's the spread looking like for this game? 13.5 for Georgia. I do think they will win. I think Clemson can hold it close for a little bit. First game of the year, but ultimately I think Georgia's going to pull away with this one. I mean, remember when they beat Oregon like 49-3 or something like that when they played in Atlanta? It very well could be a very similar game like that. West Virginia, Penn State. Penn State favored by 8. See, that seems like a lot. Because I feel like every year Penn State is ranked higher than they should be. And West Virginia, they get the game at home, and that crowd's going to be insane. That crowd's going to be absolutely wild. If I was a betting man on the spread, I would take the 9.5 for West Virginia. But do I think they win outright? Oof. I don't know. I think I'm going to say no. I think Penn State wins. I think it's going to be tough, but yeah, I'm going to take Penn State. I think it's going to be really close. I would not be surprised at all if West Virginia won, but at the end of the day, they're like a mid-tier Big 12 team. I don't know. I'm going to take Penn State. I think Virginia Tech beats Vandy. What's the spread looking like for this one? 13.5 for Virginia Tech. Yeah, Vandy, they're just terrible. Maryland and UConn. Maryland favored by 20.5. I guess I'll take them. I thought UConn was going to be better than that, but I guess not. Tickets are $1. I think Purdue beats Indiana State. Purdue's not really in for that good of a year, I'll tell you that. Tennessee, Chattanooga. It should be Tennessee. I'm telling you, as a Vols fan myself, my grandpa played football there. I'm pretty sure they can make a run, man. I think Nico Alamaleva, I think that's how you say his name. I think he's going to be a force and might lead because in the only game he played, he put up 35 points on Iowa. It was a great defense. Tennessee is going to be a really good team this year. This is a tough game. Florida and Miami. I don't know. This is going to be close. Miami's just like Penn State. I think they're always overrated to start the year. Florida gets the game at home, which is a massive advantage. Massive advantage. I mean, is Miami really that great this year? I don't think so. Florida's going to really get up for this game, too. It's a rivalry game. They don't play each other that much. It's at the Swamp. I'm taking Florida. I'm sorry. I guess I can only make picks for 15 games, which is like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So is it really not going to let me pick these other? All right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to deselect all these and then pick the last 15 games, and then I can go back and redo all these. So we're down to the game that I will be at. Florida International against Indiana. First game of the Kirk Cignetti era. We're pretty excited down here in Indiana. I think they'll win, and they better beat FIU. FIU was 4-8 last year. So I don't know. A lot of people think Kirk Cignetti. Here's the thing. I think Indiana's going to go 6-6. I've seen some people say like 9-3. I've seen some people say 3-9. They're a very big wild card. I think there's only 3 games that are guaranteed wins. It's FIU, Western Illinois, and Charlotte. I think they only have 3 games that are guaranteed losses, which is Ohio State, Michigan, and there's one other team that I forget who, or it's like they're definitely going to lose. We'll see. Big wild card. They could make some noise in the Big Ten, or they could just be the same old Indiana. Got a lot of new players. Ohio State, Akron. Hasn't Ohio State not lost to a team from the state of Ohio in like forever? Or something like that? I don't know. I'm going to take them over Akron. Will they win the national title? Are they good enough? I don't know. They probably were good enough to win the national title last year. It's just they had Kyle McCord at quarterback. They have new QB this year. I'm drawing a blank on his name. They got the guy from Kansas State. So we'll see. I think they're in for a pretty good year. They're ranked number 2. I don't know who's going to stop them this year. They're going to be a tough team to beat. I'm going to take Iowa State close over North Dakota. North Dakota's a team that they're like North Dakota State, but not as good. They always like to give teams fits, but I think Iowa State wins close. I think Texas takes down Colorado State. That's another team. How many teams are going to be able to beat Texas this year? I don't think too many teams are going to be able to do it. They're a really good team. So now this is a good game. Boise State at Georgia Southern. What does the spread say? 13 for Boise. That seems like a lot. Georgia State's normally a really good team. And they get the game at home, too. That 13 for Boise State seems like a lot. They are one of the favorites to make that 12 seed out of the group of 5 representatives. So I think I'm going to take them, but I think that game's going to be close. I'm taking Bama over Western Kentucky. We'll see. Is their new coach, DeBoer, does he have what it takes? I guess we'll find out. I think 5's a little overrated for them in the preseason, but they're still a really good team. Houston, UNLV. Ooh, 2.5 for Houston. They're at home. UNLV is usually not that bad. I like UNLV. Give me an upset here. I think they can win that one. Ole Miss, I think, is going to beat Furman. They're going to be really good, man. I'm telling you. They could make it to the SEC title game. They get Georgia at home, I think, or something like that. They have a pretty easy schedule out of the SEC. No SEC schedule is easy, but it's easier than some teams. Fresno State, Michigan. I'm going to take Michigan. They lost a lot of people. We'll see what I think Alex Orji is their QB now, or do they have a new guy? I don't know. J.J. McCarthy tore his ACL or tore his meniscus or something. He's out for the year for the Vikings. So we'll see what Michigan has. They only returned 4 starters, but they're going to have some guys that come back. I don't think they'll make the playoff, personally, but we'll see. This is the big game. Probably the game of the week. Notre Dame at Texas A&M. Now, I'll tell you, the fact that A&M gets this game at home is huge. That crowd is going to be rocking. I mean, in the new college football video game, that's rated as the toughest place to play is Texas A&M, and I don't think that that's a stretch. The Kyle Field is incredibly hard to play. The spread has A&M by 3. So, I mean, Notre Dame, I think on paper is a better team. A&M, every year I feel like they're kind of 50-50 on whether they're going to be really good or just mid. Same thing with Florida, too. Like, Miami and Notre Dame are ranked higher than the other team, but, like, that the atmosphere is going to be tough. And Miami, Notre Dame, you never know how good they're going to be on any given year. I know Notre Dame's ranked higher. I think the safe pick and the pick who's eventually going to win is Texas A&M. That's who I have. We now have UC. I don't know. It's going to be close. This is going to be a terrific game, but I think Texas A&M is going to win. Big advantage of them being at home. UCLA and Hawaii. Hawaii already won a game against who? They think they beat Delaware State, if I do recall. They now travel to Hawaii. They're UCLA is 2 touchdown underdogs. I mean, I think I'm going to take UCLA, although I think that game's going to be close. I think the game's going to be close. And I'm going to take the Bruins. Oregon and Idaho, I think Oregon's going to win that one. Are they going to be for real this year? I don't know. Every year I feel like Oregon, they say they're going to be for real, and then they kind of falter near the end of the year, although the president of Nike is dumping money into their NIL fund trying to buy a national title. That's what the big thing is Oregon's like they're going to spend whatever national NIL money they can to get a national title. We'll see. I mean, a lot of these teams have a lot to prove. Like, they're not going to lose to Idaho. Like, if you pick the Vandals, then you're kind of crazy. But I think Oregon's going to win that one. I think Arizona beats New Mexico. Arizona's underrated, man. I'm telling you, they had a really good team last year. They returned a lot of people. They're ranked. Them and Kansas. Kansas is another team. I don't have Kansas on here, but like normal basketball schools that are really bad at football, they've turned the corner. Arizona State, Wyoming. Wyoming's only a 7-point dog. Arizona State was not good last year. Wyoming's a team that's known to pull off upsets in week 1. I'm gonna take them. I like that upset right there. I think they win that one. USC LSU. This is on Sunday. This is gonna be a really good game. Now the game is in Las Vegas. They have LSU as a 6.5-point favorite. I think that LSU will win. I think that they will win because, I mean, it's a Lincoln Riley defense. A Lincoln Riley defense can't beat a good team. I'm sorry. Like, USC, the quarterback that they put in after Caleb Williams, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he looked really good in their bowl game. I think USC will be a pretty good team in the Big Ten. I don't think they're good enough to beat LSU. I'm sorry. I don't know. Boston College, Florida State. I think Florida State's going to bounce back. I don't think they're going to lose to 2 underwhelming teams in a row. I mean, they're 16.5-point favorites. I think they'll figure it out against Boston College. I mean, they better because they start 0-2. Their season's going to be over. Tiebreaker, I think that they're going to win that one. Tiebreaker, I think the score of this Notre Dame Texas A&M game is going to be 21 total points. I think A&M wins 28-21. So that'd be 49 total points. So it didn't save all my picks, but you watch them. You know what the picks are. I'll honestly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna only enter my picks in for like the biggest 15 games, but there's 31 on the list. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know who you think's gonna win in the comments below, and have a great rest of your day.